So, good morning to all. So, till now we have gone through various scenarios regarding psychosexuality, like what is normal psychosexuality, what are paraphilias like LGBTQs, and various other aspects of this issue. So, we are going to discuss today psychosexual issues of inexperienced young persons. In your clinic, you may find a young person who are recently going to marry, or whether they are in the casual relationship, come up with some sort of problems. So again, they have their origin of problem from negligible sexual experience, or they had no experience and are often in informal relationship and worried about their performances and often victims of wrong information. So this rise to problem in the young age. The source of information for this generation is generalized thought, their own thoughts and ideas and the thoughts of an experienced friend, and exaggerated experience of friends and others, hoardings and advertisements, as we have discussed, internet, magazine, newspapers may also be the source of information that they are having some kind of problems. So in the newspaper, you have seen many advertisements of sexual problems are there, and so by looking at these, they may become uh, worried, or they may found themselves ill about the sexual problems. So these problems may include disorders like dhat, which is so called as the illness or disorder, which is actually not. Wrong information about size of genitals, erection in penis, misconceptions about first sexual act after marriage, associations with their body build, how they look. They are worrisome about the visible veins, because of someone had said that this is because of excessive masturbation or other uh, sexual problem like Dhat syndrome. Eyesight may also be correlated with the uh, sexual issues. So such a things are found in the young generation. But we will focus today on pressure of the first coitus. So it is general notion that the wedding night should be uh, awesome or tremendous. The act will be such and such that your partner will be pleased or will be satisfied. But one thing you will find that when you will ask them the definition of what is the awesome or tremendous, so they are not able to. So they are not able to explain uh, what he or she means by awesome or tremendous, how it will happen, what they are expecting, and how they look for this first coitus. But they demand for a awesome or tremendous sexual activity. So we will understand this problem in two ways. First, in the context of a man or male. So an unmarried or inexperienced young man is told from various sources that his future sex life depends on good performance of the first night. So then he wants to know the definition of good sex, which he does not find anywhere or is wrong. So what the real situation is, it is important to know that the maturing in sexual activity is a learning process, as I have told in the previous lecture also. And this is not something which someone knows beforehand. No one comes from birth learning it. And whenever someone starts doing some learning activity, gradually they become experienced in it, and they know about the techniques of it, and uh, and the likings and dislikings in it. For example, in other aspects of their learning also, like swimming, cycling. So rule of learning applies everywhere, and day by day with experience, the person becomes more mature. But what they think that uh, it should be wonderful on the very first night. So this is not true. But another aspect is very important, which is the matching of mind. Importance of the important is congruency between the mind, the consensus, mental unity, reconciliation, harmony between them, adjustment. So a person who is going to recently marry, and you can compare the when one couple make a relationship, or in the before the marriage they are in the relationship, they don't straightforward go for sex. No. They usually first the talk is exchanged, then they uh, start spending some good time in leisure time, and then they maybe they start holding hand, then hugging and kissing, and one day they may find the day on which they are in the mood of going for sexual activity. So this is the process of mental congruity is establishing between the two. So this is also important part. And how come when the natural process is this, and one man can think that on the very first night, the girl who he started knowing for the last 1 month or so, so having going to have a good sexual activity. So this thing should be taught to such a patient. Yeah. If they are not, they may become nervous or lose confidence or start thinking that they are having some kind of sort of sexual problem. So one should be counseled and psychoeducated regarding the this natural and slow process of bonding between the two. They started blaming themselves and they consider themselves ineffective, sick, and you try to console them and to tell them that do not panic. This happens with everyone, and this is not a illness. So another aspect of it, when we see from the perspective of a female, so the person, a male, who thinks that it should the first night should be awesome or tremendous. So somewhere in mind he thinks that he is going to be judged. So he takes it as a kind of a test, and but he forgets that his partner is also equally inexperienced. For her, he is also a new partner. So how can she judge the perfection when she is already inexperienced? When she is also nervous for many reasons, just as a young man learns it over the time and become experienced. Similarly, the female partner also learns and matures by experiencing. So this is a bi-directional. Both have to understand each other and understand the likings and dislikings of each other in non-sexual aspects of life also, not only the sexual aspects. So when they are matched perfectly, then this will be a fruitful sexual activity. So the conclusion is young people often come here who have a little sexual experience before marriage, and this experience for male may have been either with temporary female friend or formal stranger or a paid act. So in such a situation, apart from experience, other factors also affect the performance. Like if they are in the casual relationship or had has little experience, so they have less opportunities for repeated attempts. While the uh, partner is available all the time, then the chemistry is different. But in the casual, this is not always available. Lack of meeting of minds may be the problem. Lack of safe place in casual relationship may be the problem. Indifferent behavior of the partner. Considering a session as a test, so this will also be a problem. instead of bedroom doing it in impractical place. So performance of activity may hamper in these situations. So what is required is available partner with whom one is spending his life, his or her life, and they are uh, available most of the time. Consistent experience with each other. Partner is preferred or not. Preferred partner uh, is required. Favorable mood of both. If there is a mismatch of mood, someone is irritable and another partner wants the activity, it will not be fruitful activity. Feeling of enjoying the enjoying the session, not taking it as a test. Availability of favorable location, etc. Such as such thing are important. So it is not a physical act only. It is not a one-sided emotional act only. It is a bi-directional physical and emotional activity. When all the factors are matching, the hormonal peak, the mood, and the place, and there is relatively no mental tension is there in that day, the activity will be good and fruitful. So thank you. This is regarding the inexperienced young generation.